Today's deck tech is a true showing of Magic's most notorious crime family, the Simic Syndicate, committing everyone's favorite felony, money laundering. This deck looks to take lots and lots of fake mana and turn it into real mana we can then spend on a multitude of different things to help make our opponents sleep with the fishes. Vhal, Candlekeep Researcher paired with Raised by Giants are the commanders for this deck, looking to leverage our giant mana production into wrecking the mana economy. Vhal, Candlekeep Researcher is a 4-mana, 3 generic, 1 blue, 2/3 legendary creature human wizard that has vigilance and says, tap, add an amount of colorless mana equal to Vhal, Candlekeep Researcher's toughness. This mana can't be spent to cast spells from your hand. Paired with Vhal is Raised by Giants, a 6-mana, 5 generic, 1 green legendary enchantment background that says, commander creatures you own have base power and toughness 10/10 and are giants in addition to its other types. Though this color pairing is usually associated with broken and busted things or some of the most expensive cards printed, this deck is anything but, coming in at under $17. For that little, you think it would be wildly inconsistent or severely underpowered. Well, fret not, by the time I'm done with this deck tech, you'll be welcomed into the family. Our creatures are the bulk of what makes the deck tick, featuring some of the weirdest cards to pull off wins you've probably seen. Hypnotic Grifter. Connive is not the same as straight up drawing cards, but for 3 mana, it's a steal. Prophet of Distortion. Card draw on a 1-drop and it's all colorless. Spectral Sailor can be flashed in, has flying, and we can pay in our washed mana to draw cards. Rin's Run Hydra lets us make Vhal even bigger for more mana we can use, or when our money laundering is up and running, we can make something infinitely big and swing for the win. Azure Mage is more card draw. Biomancer's Familiar lets us go 1-for-1 with mana instead of 2-for-1. Dimensional Infiltrator is one of the ways this deck wins, by just exiling your opponent's library. It's also very hard to interact with because it can bounce back to your hand and it has flash so you can play it at instant speed. Gretchen Titchwillow lets us not only draw cards, but also put lands into play. Kiora's Follower lets us untap another permanent. Ornithopter of Paradise is a mana dork. Prismite is the first of the ways we wash our mana and turn it into mana we can use for spells from our hand. Stonework Patch Beast does the same. Timora's Invoker, though crazy expensive to activate, when you make infinite mana, 8 is nothing for 2 cards. Galvanic Alchemist is a way we can untap Vhal, getting our game plan online with Soul Bond. Gyre Engineer is a great mana dork. Kelpie Guide, another way to get multiple untaps. Llanowar Tribe, 3 Llanowar Elves in a trenchcoat. Tribute Mage lets us grab one of our mana filtering combo pieces. Vigian Graft Mage untaps a permanent with counters on it. Vizier of Tumbling Sands. Crossroad Candle Guide is another way to wash all the mana we are going to make. Signpost Scarecrow is another washing machine. Fairy Formation makes us 1/1 flyers and draws us cards at instant speed so we can pay off an army to protect us in the air or to take out another player. Murkfiend Liege gives blue and green creatures +1/+1 and untaps all green and blue permanents during each of their player's untap step. Psychosis Crawler, with all the cards we are drawing, this can end games quick. Antilarian Kraken lets us untap our creatures or tap down our opponent's creatures when we draw, making it easier to get in the red zone if a combat damage win is the plan. Moving into our sorceries, Curse of the Swine can be a board wipe once we have the mana to dump into it. It also works as spot removal. Rampant Growth. Threats Undetected is a phenomenal card at helping us assemble our combo since a bunch of our cards that do the same thing have different powers, essentially making it a bad choice no matter what our opponent chooses. Increasing Savagery can make Vhal bigger to tap for more mana, and the mana Vhal makes can help with the flashback to essentially double up on the counters for a potential 15 counters in one turn. Migration Path and Spring to Mind ramps on one side, but the Aftermath side can draw some cards in a pinch. Sliding into our instants, which help protect our commander or help us pop off out of nowhere. Dive Down gives +0/+3 and Hexproof, which will help Vhal tap for more mana that turn, as well as protecting her. Ornamental Courage untaps and gives +1/+3 for multiple taps of Vhal. Savage Summoning helps us flash in Vhal before our turn with an extra counter on her, as well as making her uncounterable, and letting us be able to tap her when our turn starts just to combo off. Shore Up gives Hexproof and +1/+1 as well as untaps. Growth Spiral. Joint Exploration, a little card selection with sorting, and we get to put an extra land into play if we Negate. Reality Shift to take care of any annoying creatures. Resculpt to hit artifacts or creatures. Return to Nature is modal for enchantments, artifacts, even the graveyard in some cases. Ride the Avalanche is a phenomenal card, allowing us to play Vhal at flash speed and give her counters equal to her casting cost, letting her tap for even more mana. Simic Charm gives a boost or acts as protection, possibly even removing threats in our way by bouncing something back to the hand. Steady Aim untaps and gives a defensive boost, helping with multiple activations of Vhal. Commander's Insight, with infinite mana, might as well draw your whole deck or make your opponents do it. Dream Fracture, and Stroke of Genius for more draw and a possible win condition. Artifacts carry even more ways to convert our mana into card draw or usable mana. Slagworm Armor gives Vhal an even fatter butt to make us more mana. Urn of Godfire, a fantastic new addition letting us wash our mana early. Wayfarer's Bauble. Energy Refractor not only washes our mana but gives us a card when we cast it, replacing itself. Mirror Shield, a little toughness boost and hexproof? Sign me up. Moonsliver Key, 1 mana to find a mana ability. It's definitely a key to unlocking our combo. And Diviner's Wand not only makes a creature bigger as we draw cards, it also acts as a mana sink to draw more cards. Win-win. Our enchantments bring even more to the table. Crab Umbra to untap and provide totem armor to protect Vhal. Multani's Harmony is here because if we have a way to untap Vhal but no way to filter the mana yet, we can start tapping Vhal for colored mana instead. Thassa's Ire for more untapping shenanigans. Kalani Heart Expedition for ramping. Roaring Earth gives out +1/+1 counters as we play lands, which we can put on Vhal for more mana, or another creature to make them bigger. Singing Bell Strike may tap the creature we equip it to, but if we tap Vhal ahead of time for mana, we only need to tap for an excess of 6 to be able to produce infinite. Retreat to Coralheim is a free untap with a land drop, and with Gretchen Titchwillow out, that's an untap each time we drop a land. And lastly, Retreat to Kazandu can gain us life in a pinch, but the main reason we play it is for the counters. Any way to make Vhal bigger for more mana is really what we want. For lands, it's basic. Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Tangled Islet, Vine Glimmer Snarl, Yavimaya Coast, 15 Forest, and 15 Islands. Again, the deck currently costs under $17, making this an absolute banger for your buck. But if you want to increase the budget for more goons, I've got you covered. For ramp, Soul Ring and an Arcane Signet, you can't go wrong. Better win conditions are always nice with Laboratory Maniac, Jace Wielder of Mysteries, or Thassa's Oracle. All of them make it way easier to win as it's super easy to draw your whole deck. But you could also dump all your excess mana into a Helix Pinnacle for another weird way to win. Blue Sun Zenith is great for making your opponents draw out, and a great win because it shuffles back into our deck so we can essentially make each one of our opponents draw their whole deck. Also, counterspells such as Counterspell, Foil, or Forbid to make sure nothing stops the combo once it gets going. Also, for more protection for Vhal, I would suggest Lightning Greaves and or a Swiftfoot Boots. Another key part of the deck is being able to tap Vhal right away, so a 1000-year elixir would also be a great include. Well, that's the deck with some upgrades. Tell me one of your favorite cards from the deck or a commander you would like to see built on a budget in the comments down below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It goes a long way to supporting the channel. And with that out of the way, I'll catch you in the next one.